Hi, I'm Dennis. I used to think talent and hard work were all that mattered in high school basketball. Man, was I wrong. Basketball had been my thing since I could walk. My dad put a ball in my hands before I could even form complete sentences, drilling me and my older brother Marcus on fundamentals every weekend at the community center. Keep your elbow in, Dennis. How many times do I have to tell you? Dad would shout from the sidelines as I practiced free throws. Give him a break, Dad. He's getting better, Marcus would sometimes say, though I noticed he enjoyed being the favorite. Better isn't good enough for college scouts, Dad would snap back. They want perfect. I worked twice as hard as anyone on that court. Last season, as a junior, I averaged 15 points per game. Coach Wilkins even pulled me aside after our final game. Dennis, I'm counting on you next year. You're our cornerstone, team captain material. I carried those words through every grueling summer workout. When senior year tryouts came, I dominated. But when the roster went up, I wasn't just not captain. I was barely on the team. Second string? Are you kidding me? I stared at the list in disbelief. My best friend Jake slapped my shoulder. Dude, something's wrong. Everyone knows you're better than half those starters. That night at dinner, Dad didn't even look surprised. Maybe Marcus just has the natural talent I always saw in him, he said, raising his glass to my brother. 22 points in the scrimmage? That's my boy. Thanks, Dad. Marcus beamed. Coach says I might break the school record this year. What about me? I asked. Did you see where Coach put me? Dad barely looked up from his plate. Second string is nothing to be ashamed of, Dennis. But last year, Coach said, last year is last year. Dad cut me off. Some people peak early. Something about his tone made my stomach twist. For the next 3 games, I sat watching Marcus dominate the court while I collected splinters on the bench. Coach barely looked my direction during practices. After another game warming the bench, I was changing in the locker room when I overheard Coach Wilkins talking to his assistant in his office. The door was cracked open. I don't like it either, Coach was saying, but $20,000 is $20,000. My daughter's tuition isn't going to pay itself. Still, benching Dennis for the whole season, the kid's got real talent. Look, Mr. Prescott made it clear. His older boy gets the spotlight this year. Dennis gets minimal playing time. I froze, my heart pounding in my ears. Dennis? Jake had appeared beside me, concern etched across his face. You okay? You look like you're going to throw up. My dad, I whispered, my voice shaking. My dad paid Coach to bench me. Jake's eyes widened. Are you serious? That's so Marcus could shine, I continued, the pieces falling into place. So colleges would only look at him? Dude, Jake grabbed my arm. We need to talk about this somewhere else. Now. As we left the gym, my phone buzzed with a text from Marcus. Great game, right? Dad's taking me to meet with some scout from state tonight. Sucks you can't come, but someone's got to warm that bench. The betrayal cut deep, not just from my father, but from my brother and Coach too. Everyone I trusted had played me for a fool. What are you going to do? Jake asked as we sat in his car. I stared straight ahead, my mind racing through every practice, every game, every family dinner where my father praised Marcus while dismissing my efforts. I'm going to find out exactly what happened, I said finally, and then I'm going to make sure everyone involved pays for it. Are you absolutely certain about what you heard? Miss Rivera, our guidance counselor, leaned forward across her desk, her expression serious. Yes, ma'am. Coach Wilkins specifically mentioned my father's name and the amount, $20,000, I explained, Jake nodding beside me. That's a very serious accusation, Dennis. Athletic recruitment bribery could affect college admissions, scholarships. It could even lead to criminal charges. I know, but it's the truth. My own father paid to have me benched so my brother could look better to scouts. Miss Rivera sighed. I've known your father for years through the Booster Club. This is disturbing, to say the least. Can you help us? Jake asked. I need to think carefully about how to proceed. This involves multiple ethical breaches. She scribbled something on a notepad. Who else knows about this? Just us, I said, and obviously Coach, his assistant, my dad, and probably my brother. Marcus knows. Miss Rivera raised an eyebrow. I'm not sure, I admitted, but he's been acting strange, extra cocky, making comments about me warming the bench. Later that day, I cornered Tyler, Coach's assistant, in the equipment room. I need to talk to you about something I overheard, I said, closing the door behind me. Tyler's face paled. I don't know what you think you heard, but my father paid Coach 20 grand to bench me. Don't deny it. I heard you both discussing it. He glanced around nervously. Look, Dennis, I told Coach it was wrong, but I'm just an assistant. I need this job for my resume. So it's true? Your dad approached Coach 3 months ago, said Marcus needed the spotlight for senior year, that you'd had your chance already. Coach refused at first, but then, the money, I finished. Tyler nodded. It started with playing time, but then your dad pushed for team captain too. Did my brother know? Tyler hesitated. I can't say for sure, but they came to Coach's office together once. Marcus was right there when your dad mentioned their arrangement. My blood boiled. I need proof, something concrete. There might be emails, Tyler said reluctantly. Coach keeps everything. That evening, I tried talking to Marcus, hoping maybe he'd been an unwitting beneficiary. Hey, weird how Coach completely changed his mind about me being captain, right? I started casually as he packed his gym bag. Marcus smirked. Not weird at all. I'm just better, little bro. But last year you were a big fish in a small pond, Marcus interrupted. Now colleges are watching. The stakes are higher. Did Dad say something to Coach? I pressed. Something flashed across Marcus's face, guilt maybe before his expression hardened. Dad just makes sure the family talent gets recognized properly. By family talent, you mean you? Look, Marcus sighed. Not everyone's cut out for the next level. Dad's just being realistic about our futures. So you knew, I said flatly. You knew he paid to have me benched. Marcus grabbed his bag, avoiding my eyes. Don't be dramatic. Dad's looking out for both of us. Some of us have potential worth investing in. As he walked away, I clenched my fists so hard my nails bit into my palms. He admitted it, I told Jake over the phone that night. Not directly, but he knew. What now? Jake asked. Tomorrow I talked to Coach's secretary. Apparently she's furious about the whole thing. Mrs. Phelps, who'd been the athletic department secretary for 20 years, didn't even seem surprised when I approached her the next morning. I've been waiting for someone to ask, she said, closing her office door. What your father did goes against everything high school sports should be about. Do you have any evidence? I asked. She hesitated only briefly before pulling out a USB drive. Backup of Coach's emails. There's one where your father details the payment schedule and Coach's response accepting it. Why are you helping me? Mrs. Phelps smiled sadly. I've watched you play since freshman year, Dennis. This isn't right. And frankly, I'm retiring next month, so what are they going to do to me? With evidence in hand, I requested a meeting with Principal Goodwin, Athletic Director Saunders, Coach Wilkins, my father, and my brother. The tension in the room was thick enough to cut with a knife as we all sat around the conference table. Thank you all for coming, Principal Goodwin began. Dennis has brought some concerning allegations to our attention. What is this about? My father demanded, looking annoyed. I have a business meeting in an hour. It's about how you paid Coach Wilkins $20,000 to bench me and make Marcus team captain, I said, my voice steady despite my racing heart. The room fell silent. Coach Wilkins went pale. That's ridiculous, my father scoffed. Dennis is just jealous of his brother's success. Then how do you explain these? I slid printouts of the emails across the table. Principal Goodwin picked them up, his expression growing darker as he read. Robert, he addressed my father, these emails appear to show you offering Coach Wilkins money in exchange for reducing Dennis's playing time and promoting Marcus to captain. Those could be fabricated, my father said, but his voice lacked conviction. They're not, Coach Wilkins said quietly. Everyone turned to look at him. It's true. Mr. Prescott paid me to favor Marcus. John, my father exploded. What are you doing? I'm done lying, Coach replied. I've been coaching for 25 years. What I did was wrong, and I can't live with it anymore. You approached me, my father shouted. After you hinted at a donation if Marcus got more attention, Coach fired back. I turned to Marcus. Did you know about this? Marcus stared at the table. Not at first, but later? Dad said it was just leveling the playing field, he muttered. That you always got attention for being the natural athlete while I had to work twice as hard. That's such garbage, I said, my voice rising. I practiced every single day. Boys, please, Principal Goodwin interrupted. This is a serious matter with potential legal implications. Legal implications? My father repeated, his face reddening. It was a donation to the basketball program. That specifically required benching your younger son, Athletic Director Saunders pointed out. That's not a donation, Mr. Prescott. That's a bribe. Dennis, my father turned to me, his tone suddenly conciliatory. Son, I was just trying to help your brother. You know how much he struggles. You've always been the natural athlete. I thought just once. Don't. I cut him off. Don't pretend this was for my benefit. We're family, he insisted. We can work this out privately. Like you worked out benching me privately, I shot back. I'm sorry, okay? My father's voice rose. I made a mistake. What more do you want? I want you to admit what you really did. You didn't believe in me enough to let me succeed on my own merits, and you didn't believe in Marcus enough to let him try on his... That's not true. My father stood up, pointing his finger at me. You ungrateful little... If your mother were still alive, she'd be ashamed of you for this. Something snapped inside me. Don't you dare bring Mom into this. She would never have played favorites. My father lunged toward me, but Athletic Director Saunders stepped between us. Mr. Prescott, control yourself. This meeting is over, Principal Goodwin declared. Mr. Prescott, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the premises immediately. Fine, my father spat. But this isn't over, Dennis. You've just destroyed your brother's chances at a scholarship. I hope you're happy. As he stormed out, Marcus looked at me with a mixture of anger and shame. Why couldn't you just let me have this one thing? Because it wasn't yours to have, I replied. And deep down, you know that. 2 weeks later, the school board convened a special meeting. Based on our findings, Superintendent Garcia announced, Coach John Wilkins will be terminated for accepting bribes. All game results from this season will be reviewed, and Marcus Prescott's statistics will include an asterisk in school records. Dennis Prescott will be reinstated as a starting player, and the team captaincy will be decided by player vote. After the meeting, Coach approached me in the hallway. Dennis, I know it doesn't make up for anything, but I truly am sorry. Why did you do it? I asked. You always talked about integrity. 25 years of coaching, and I couldn't afford to send my daughter to her dream school. Your father knew that. That doesn't make it right. No, it doesn't. I betrayed everything I stand for. I accept the consequences. The team voted me captain the following day. I found Marcus later, cleaning out his locker. You're quitting? I asked, surprised. What choice do I have? Everyone knows I didn't earn my spot. You're still a good player, Marcus. He shook his head. Not good enough. Not without Dad's help. So work harder, I said, like I did every time Dad ignored me to praise you. Dad's pulled me out of school. I'm finishing senior year at West Ridge. He says we need a fresh start. A week later, my father tried to arrange a family dinner to heal. I met him at the restaurant alone. Dennis, he said as I sat down, thank you for coming. I almost didn't. I understand. What I did was inexcusable. Yes, it was. But I'm still your father. We need to move past this. I studied his face. Did you ever believe in me at all? Of course I did, he said quickly. You're naturally gifted. Marcus needed the extra help. Stop, I interrupted. You paid someone to actively hold me back, Dad. My own father. How am I ever supposed to trust you again? I'm asking for another chance, he pleaded. People make mistakes. This wasn't a mistake. It was a calculated decision that you made over months. What do you want from me, Dennis? He asked, exasperated. Nothing, I replied. I'm staying with Jake's family until graduation. Coach Thompson from State called yesterday. They're interested in me. That's great, my father said. I always knew you'd... I asked them not to contact you, I cut him off. Jake's parents will help me with the scholarship paperwork. The realization dawned on him. Dennis, I'm still your father. Biologically, yes, but fathers don't sabotage their children. You'll have to earn back the right to be part of my life. Later that evening, Jake and I shot hoops in his driveway. How'd it go with your dad? He asked, passing me the ball. About as expected. He wants forgiveness without understanding. And you're not giving it? I sank a three-pointer before answering. Some betrayals cut too deep for easy forgiveness. What about Marcus? He texted me today. Said he's trying out for West Ridge's team without Dad's help. Asked if I'd come watch sometime. Will you? I dribbled thoughtfully. Maybe. At least he's trying to stand on his own. As team captain, I led our squad to the state quarterfinals that year. My father never came to the games, but sometimes I'd spot Marcus in the stands, watching quietly. We still had a long way to go, but at least now we were all playing by the same rules. Have you ever had someone close to you betray your trust? How did you handle it? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about overcoming life's toughest challenges.